Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. Every so often, a property comes across my radar that has some exceptional or unique feature to the point where I am just shocked at the people who are selling it to us. Number one, are getting rid of it, and number two, are getting rid of it at the prices that we typically offer, which are like super low. In the past, we have had properties like 40 acres with a stream going through it. That one was a great property. We've had properties that had a working well with water rights. That was a great property. There's a second category of these great properties, however, which is based on location. It's based on if you know the idiosyncrasies of the region, you know that this property has something that really not a lot of the properties around it, if any, have. And this is one of those. What you see up here in the headline, residential lot off of main road. This off main road thing, you're probably watching the video thinking, well, who cares about that? Why is that a big deal? But if you know this region, if you know this subdivision, you will know that the whole off main road thing, being located off of main road, gives this property greater viability as what we will call a buildable lot, quote unquote. It also makes life a heck of a lot easier and probably less expensive for whoever ends up buying this. So with all that said, we're going to talk about this main road feature plus a whole lot more in today's videos. Guys, let's get to it. This property is reference number VLNM-0010. It is located in Valencia County, New Mexico, in the Rio Grande Estates subdivision. This property is 2 acres, and these 2 acres are a combination of 4 adjacent half-acre lots. And as you saw up top, these 2 acres are being priced at $3,000. So let's bring this up on a map. As with all of our listings, guys, we got 5 GPS coordinates down here, 4 corner points in the center. Click any one of them, and up on Google Maps, the property shall appear. So for the sake of the reveal, guys, I'm going to get into the property-specific details in just a bit. I do, however, want to talk about where this is in the state. So Valencia County is a small little county down here, home to Belen and Los Lunas. It sits just south of Bernalillo County, which itself is the home of Albuquerque. Everybody, of course, whether you know a lot or nothing about New Mexico, you know Albuquerque, of course, is the population center of the state. Up here, of course, also is the most rapidly growing part of the state, Albuquerque and the Rio Rancho area up here. Point being, the subject property sits roughly about 30 minutes south of that, and if we right-click and measure distance up to Albuquerque, you will see, yes, roughly about 30 miles as the crow flies. Of course, all of that drive is going to be here through the I-25 corridor, so you're probably doing about 75, 80 miles an hour most that way, which means, 30 minutes is probably a reasonable expectation for drive time. As noted, guys, the property sits just here outside of Belen, outside of Los Lunas. Belen has a Walmart supercenter, so does Los Lunas up here. In addition, Belen is also home to a number of schools, churches, little, medical centers, things like that. They've got their own regional airport over here, etc., etc. It should be noted, guys, let's talk about Valencia County a little bit. So Valencia County, you've got this dense concentration of people who live here really just sort of along the Rio Grande. If you zoom in here, of course, you'll see a lot of business, a lot of industry, homes, shops, things like that, fast food restaurants, so on and so forth. Valencia County, however, also has another side, which is this area that you see between the dense built-up region and the Manzano Mountains over here. These are the Manzano Mountains over here, and in between the two is a lot of desert. There is a lot of desert over here, because this area is one of these regions where developers came in a million years ago and they chopped everything up into quarter-acre lots and half-acre lots and sold them off to, 10 or 20,000 separate people, so on and so forth. And for a variety of reasons I won't get into, the region never really got developed. And Rio Grande Estates, the subdivision that this property is in, it's a subdivision we traffic in a great deal in Socorro County. Socorro County and Valencia County, the county lines got redrawn at one point, but this subdivision used to basically just be in one county. And as you get further down into Socorro County, you've got a lot of 1-acre lots, you've got no zoning, the roads are well enough maintained, some of them are better than others, you've got utilities, not throughout the whole region, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that Rio Grande Estates in Socorro County is a heck of a lot more valuable than it is up here in Valencia County. And one of the big reasons is because Valencia County government does not come out here and blade the roads. Now, roads over here, they're great. They're all paved, they're superb, they're fantastic. But when you get into a region like this, right? A region like this where you've got, 10,000 half-acre lots or whatever, 20,000 quarter-acre lots or something like that, there's legal access to all of the properties that you see in this region, but there's just no bladed roads. In fact, the county, if you zoom in on this here, some of these regions, like here off La Entrada Road, if you own land in this region, the county has actually built up fencing, so it makes it extra difficult to access your land if it's down here. The roads aren't bladed, plus there's fencing. Good luck with that. And they do that for a variety of reasons, I'm certain. And one of them is because they just don't anticipate a lot of development out here. Now, where you do see development in this region, where you do see these sort of Rio Grande Estates lots that do get built, are here along the main roads. And let's be clear, guys, as we look at this map, there's like 3 main roads here. There's Highway 47, which is the Rio Communities Boulevard Road. There's the Navajo Loop, which is this one. And there's that La Entrada that I showed you earlier. So if you zoom in on the map over here, what you're going to see is, like, for instance, Highway 47. You've got people who just happen to be lucky enough to own the lots that are right off this road right here. And we're calling it a highway, but I mean, it's, it's a pretty lightly trafficked road, right? So you'll see, okay, so here's a pretty nice home site right here. They seem to have built this up. They got, pretty nice residents here. Here's another one. Here's the Berlin Mennonite Church. Here's another one. If you scan up and down this road, you're going to see some, some pretty nice, respectable home sites. If you pull back and you go off in this region, you zoom in, you're going to see, like, not the world. If anybody's actually living out there, it's usually like a trailer or an RV or something like that, and so on and so forth. But here along the main road, you've got these built-up home sites. Now, part of this, guys, of course, you got power running up and down the road. You've also got the Mennonite Church out here, which, to my understanding, rents out sort of like road grading equipment. They've got like a bulldozer or something. They rent it out to all these people and helps them kind of, dig out some of these roads that would give them the legal access to their properties. And so up and down this road, close to it, you will see developed home sites like this. Well, anyway, if you go far enough down Rio Communities Boulevard and you bang a sharp right here along Turbine Road, you will see the same thing. You'll see some built-up home sites right here, and as you continue down Turbine, you will see this property right here. And then if you go far enough, guys, you will find our subject property. Right here, guys. This is the big reveal. This 2-acre lot is situated right here off of Turbine. Now, I'd love to tell you that if we went to map view, you'll actually see... Oh, my God, you do. Hang on a second. So, I didn't even realize that. Okay, so this gives you a sense of the plat overlay of this region. So, you're purchasing Lot 1, Lot 2, Lot 3, Lot 4. That's roughly what you're purchasing. Now, I would love to tell you that we have a plat down here. We, however, do not. To get a plat map from Valencia County, you need an act of Congress, a papal bull, and then you need to provide some sort of DNA swab or something. They're very, very reluctant to give you any kind of documents you request. But this is the overall size, shape, location, general footprint of the property. You can see a little bit of that here, more than I anticipated actually being able to see with Google Maps. So that gives you a sense. The property is kind of shaped like Nevada, if you will. Anyway, point being, if we go back to satellite view, there's a couple things I want to point out to you. Number one, here's one of the best features about Turbine Road, aside from the fact it's a main road. Number one, unlike the area that I pointed out earlier, La Entrada, there is no fencing along this road. You're buying property that sits right off the road, and you could actually get to it without having to take, wire cutters and try to get through a fence. That's number one. Number two, up here along Turbine, where these home sites are, you've got power running along Turbine. If you zoom in on the map, you can, there you go. You can see that one, so on and so forth, right here, and then it kind of ends right here. So this site, I don't know if this is an abandoned home site. I don't know if this is something that the satellite image was just taken before a home got built up here. But this is the last power line that exists. Now this is, if you right-click and measure distance on the map, you'll see it's about a half mile from the subject property. My photographer is swearing up and down there's a closer power line about a third of a mile away. So there may be another built-up home site here. But the point is, a half a mile away in this region, this giant region that I just showed you, to be only a half mile away from power is pretty good. That's pretty respectable, I gotta tell you. Number one. Number two, as we zoom in here on the map, this thing that you see right here, there is power over here. Now, to be clear, guys, these are railroad tracks. This is not a road. You can't take this, north-south, okay? Turbine becomes Escobar Place, and then you could take Escobar and Turbine all throughout the county. But this right here is a railroad. So if you're looking at this property saying, oh my God, it's a little too close to a railroad for my taste, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe that's something you want to go out there and scout, see how often trains go by, see how much noise they create. Our photographer's out there for something like 2 hours. He claimed that only like one train went by in that time. So who knows? But the point is, I just want to make you guys aware, train tracks, but here running parallel along the train tracks are also power lines, also about a half mile away from the property. So half mile southwest, half mile northeast, that's where the nearest power is. In fact, hey, I know, why don't we show you some photos of this? So These are the aforementioned train tracks. This is the aforementioned power. It's sitting roughly about a half-mile southwest of the property. As we go through this, this is what the road is like out here. So this is another one of the nice features with this. And I know it sounds like I'm overselling this, but I'm not. I know this region pretty well. It's hard to find roads. Number one, a main road. Number two, one that's this well maintained. And of course, number three, one that you could just pull right off the road onto your land. So that is the road, that is Turbine, and of course, here we have the subject property. Like all of these lots out in this region, a little bit of whatever this is, I don't know, sagebrush, something like that, but overall pretty flat, pretty buildable lot, pretty easy to park or build whatever you're going to want to park or build there. And of course, you've got some nice views, the Monsanto Mountains off to the east over there. I will let you guys explore the photo gallery on your own time. It's pretty much the same as what you're seeing here in every image. And then, of course, we've got the drone photos down here. The drone photo with, of course, the footprint of the property. This is my assistant doing her best job to try and mock up this Nevada-shaped property on here. But I will just point out to you guys, these kind of things that you see right here, this checkerboard pattern, these are the legal easements for the property. So like I was saying earlier, you know, if you own this lot, hey, it's great, you're pulling right off the main road. But if you own the lot behind it, good luck getting from the road out to here or the road out to here or something like that. That's always the harder part in this region. So what I was talking about earlier where the thing is, you know, more viable as a buildable lot, it's more viable for reasons like that. One, because the first X thousand that you spend is not trying to get a surveyor out there to, one, find the property, two, tell you where the road starts and ends and where you can actually blade something, or three, try to convince Valencia County, who, you know, again, is reluctant to hand out a plat map, much less go out and blade a road, to come out and help you with this. Property's right off the main road, so it's a big benefit. Anyway, guys, once again, I will let you peruse the photo gallery on your own. You know, as you look at this, I think I see what he's talking about, where it looks like power is probably closer. If you really scrutinize this photo, this looks like closer than a half a mile, but who knows? The drone's up pretty far. Anyway, we'll say half mile for now. And, of course, off in the distance, you can see the thriving metropolis of Berlin. By the by, guys, just want to point out something else here on the map, which is Rio Communities Boulevard, because I didn't really detail this a lot. This is a you know, a major arterial here in Valencia County. This is going to get you in not only into town. I mean, you take this thing up right here to the Monsanto Expressway. You can take this over to what is it, North Main Street. And pretty soon off of North Main Street, of course, I'm not seeing it. There we go, is the Walmart Supercenter right here. Of course, it also provides you easy access to the 25. Or if you're taking the thing south-southwest, Highway 47, Rio Communities Boulevard is going to spit you out right down here on the 60. Of course, you could take that east into Mountain Air, or more likely, you could just take it west right over here back to the 25. And just to bore you a little bit more, we're here with the geography. Of course, if you take the 25 south, you're going into Socorro the town, and then even further south, you are none too far, really, from Elephant Butte Lake. Elephant Butte Lake, of course, is the largest body of water in the state of New Mexico, and they got some great water sports and things you could take advantage of down there. That's about 100 miles from the property, 100 miles south. So that's maybe an hour and a half drive, or an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. So just an FYI, but that is pretty close. Anyway, with all that said, guys, a couple things I just want to point out to you. If you are considering this property, if you do like it, up here we have the PDF for the zoning. This is zoned as quote-unquote planned development. This is what they write. Who knows what happens in real life, but this is what they write. Purpose and scope. The purpose of the planned development districts to allow and encourage comprehensive development rather than traditional parcel-by-parcel development. Now, that may explain some of the motivation behind not blading the roads and fencing off most of the area. But clearly that doesn't apply to these properties that are just, you know, right off these main roads. Obviously, these are being built up one at a time, and not much the county can do about that. If you have specific plans for this, for a property out there, such as, you know, mobile home or RV dwelling or something like that, Valencia County isn't big on RV dwelling. If you read through this, I'm sure you'll find something that says, you know, words to that effect. As far as mobile homes, there's usually some kind of additional permit as far as how they want it skirted, if they want a cement foundation, things like that. Always best, guys, always best, as we say in these videos, to talk to the county, talk to the planning and zoning office, and ask them exactly what they require, if that is your, you know, main goal with the land. Of course, if your main goal is to build up some nice sort of SFR, single-family residence, like what you see here on the map, kind of nearby along Turbine or up by the Mennonite Church, my guess is you will meet a little resistance with that. If you're looking to build up something like this, it looks pretty nice, looks pretty respectable, my guess is no one will object. That's probably what Valencia County wants out there. By the by, guys, let's talk about the nearby power. As always, with the listing page down here under the county contact information, we not only have the aforementioned zoning office, we also have PNM, power, of New Mexico. Click on that. It will take you to their website. If you want to reach out to them and have a conversation about, hey, I'm looking to buy some vacant land out in Valencia County. You guys have got a power line about a half a mile from it. What does this cost to get power extended? How many power poles is that? What am I paying for? Practically speaking, what are the logistics in this? If I order it, how long does it even take to get you guys out there to do such a thing? These are good questions to ask in advance of the purchase. And of course, guys, we'll also point out, we also have the Office of the State Engineer. These are the people responsible for well permits and water rights in a region. Obviously, if you're going to build out here, you're either hauling your own water in or you're drilling a well. And this is the entity, this is the government office in New Mexico that's in charge of that. So always a good idea to have a conversation with them, or more realistically, local vendors, local well drillers who do this for a living. And then you could talk to them and say, hey, the property's roughly about here. What is that? What's the water table in that region like? Do you know? What is that going to cost me? So on and so forth. So always good to have those conversations in advance. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, with all that said, guys, I hope you don't think I'm overselling this main road thing, but I promise it's a big deal in this region. I've seen a lot of properties out there. Very few of them have access like this, and that's why very few actually get built on. So if you agree with me, if you really like this, if you're looking for a property that you can own by yourself, you don't have to pay rent anymore, your own private oasis where you can start to build, a really nice home in a region that's probably going to get built up more in the next 10 years. And by that, I mean Valencia County. I don't necessarily mean the really deserted parts of it. Just come up here, click the Buy Now button. It'll take you to secure checkout where we'll ask you for $3,000 plus a $150 doc prep fee. I'm going to ask you a couple questions here, guys. Legal name for deed, you and the wife, you and the husband, you and the kids, whatever. Email address, phone, all contact information, tax address. Where is Valencia County sending the $20 annual tax statement to? Agree to the terms of service, click next, and on the very next page, we will ask you for credit or debit card information. We own the property. Our company owns the property, so once you give us the money, as far as we are concerned, you own the property. Practically speaking, however, it takes a couple weeks before the deed arrives in the mail. That process, however, begins immediately. You put down money, and within 24 hours, we're going to have documentation you in an email. Once you approve everything, we autograph, we notarize, we mail off to the county. They record it, and then they forward it on to you. So we like to tell our buyers about 3 weeks from start to finish before that document is in your hands, etc., etc. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.